evening, ladies and gents. It is going down. It is that time of the year again. It is time for Mania Madness kicking off tonight with Paying Dues with myself, Mr. Jamie Rose. Tonight, we are bringing the hardest hitting Raw review on Twitch with my boy Scows here in the guest spot tonight.
What's going on?
Man, nothing much. You just want to start it out here? Want to introduce yourself?
I'm
Tell me about yourself a little bit.
all right. Most of you know me. I am Scows. I am one of the co-founders of Off the Top. Me and Shadow, we run things here. I have been more behind the scenes lately with producing shows. Jamie has also taken on that role, but here we are, ready to kick off Mania Madness this week. We got 8 shows in 8 days, and oh man, they're gonna be great. Make sure you hop on, follow us so you can get notifications of when they all happen. And I can't wait to see you join us for all of them.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and just start off in a bit of a hurry because this is an action-packed Raw tonight. It started out with Miss TV with Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus. Oh boy, Trish! Just look at her. Um, started out and it was interrupted by Damage Control. Bailey cut a good promo. Becky cut a good promo. Both passionate, and it led into the match with Becky and Io Sky. Any thoughts on the match? Any thoughts on the Miss TV segment before we break it down a little bit?
I'm still conflicted on whether we actually need Miz being the host of WrestleMania or not. Miz TV segments have gotten really boring to me in the last couple years. I feel like it's something he needs to move on from. That being said, though, this was a great way to start off Raw because it put more emphasis on this feud. It shows that I believe this will be the end of it, finally. And I'm just curious as to how they're going to do it because there are rumors swirling around about how different ways they're going to go.
Exactly. And it was, I will say it was very impressive. The women have been going above and beyond, I think, since last summer, since Triple H has taken the helm. I
Mm-hmm.
think they have taken this opportunity and ran with it. Um, it also helps when you have 2 Hall of Famers and 2 future Hall of Famers there all in the same segment. So that really, really does a number for it. So um, the match was good, by the way. For what it was, an opening match, especially a ladies' match. It was a 2.5, almost 3 segment match.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there was a lot of back and forths. Fighting through the breaks. Even some good outside heel work by Bailey. So they got everything they needed to get in, and so
I am very curious as to where they are going to go with it, though. Are we going to see a heel turn by one of the faces?
it's a good question, and my thoughts of it is we're probably going to see a Bailey face turn. I don't know why, because Bailey's doing really good heel work, but I think it's going to be one of those things where at the end of the night we might have Damage Control turning on Bailey, but I still think there's a lot more to do with Bailey as a heel. So it's a very confusing way to go about it. There's many ways you could do that.
See, I think we're going to get the opposite. I think we're going to have um, Trish turn on Lita and Becky, and that's how you're going to get the Becky versus Trish match that we've wanted for so long.
Yeah, yeah. I think you're right on the money there.
And I think this
Um,
match happens on night one, so that we can actually see a title match on night two.
exactly. The thing of they just it's nice having your women's titles on two you know reputable women, but at the same time they're kind of pigeonholed and not being defended on the card. Um, you have this 4-way women's tag match that could easily be for the titles,
Well,
in some sort of situation. So
that's the whole thing
it's a
is I believe that the winners of these showcases are going to get title matches possibly on night 2, if not the Monday Night Raw after Mania. So it's going to
okay.
happen
Yeah.
quick, whether it is on night 2 or if it's on Monday.
Hmm.
And I could potentially see new champions coming out of the women's side. Definitely won't be from the men's side because there's already going to be a new champion. You're not taking it off of that quickly.
No, definitely not that quickly. Anything before we move on with the opening women's segment there?
Nope.
Alrighty, and then we moved on to a video package for Solo versus Cody that happened later on the night. Then we also saw the Bloodline showing up to Raw without Roman. So pretty much what if in Shadow's logic here, shout out Shadow, um, Roman's gonna be at SmackDown, which they did announce later on the show. Um, and then they also ran a Asuka package, pretty much showcasing all of her NXT stuff, the main roster domination, pretty much the stuff before Vince went and screwed it all up. Um, Watching this video package, it definitely made me remember that she had a match at WrestleMania this year. I totally forgot about that. And it was very easy to do so because they hardly did any build with her and Bianca. And now I remember that they have a match at Mania. So
I mean, the
um,
build, there was build, it just wasn't good.
wasn't memorable at all.
And I just, I mean, I don't know how you forget. I keep mentioning that they need to get rid of Bianca Cena. So that right there should just remind you that there's a match and she needs to lose.
Exactly. And I don't know. Weird part of me thinks that they're gonna have Bianca win,
No,
but at what
no, they're
point?
not doing everything with Asuka right now, changing her character, doing all this, and then having her lose. It would defeat the purpose of everything.
I agree with that. I absolutely do. It's a kind of weird feeling to see that they would, you know, pretty much switch both the titles. But
Who said
um,
they're switching the other one?
I mean, everybody's saying that.
Okay, and then it's time for new champs on both.
that I
And
would
the other
agree.
one
So
would cause somebody to switch brands.
yes, yes. Um, any other thoughts about Bianca and Asuka?
I mean, I'm just like I said, I'm just excited to see Asuka win. So
Yeah, I'm excited to see Asuka too. Um, I just knowing WWE history, if they're pretty
no,
much
no, you're
building her
still
like
trying to
Cena.
you're still going off of Vince, and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't move on from that. Just like half, like 90% of these people in the IWC saying that Vince is back because of some things that happened.
I don't think he's back.
Yeah, but
Absolutely not.
you can't move past the fact that he's ruined Asuka in the past, and you can't get grips to things that are different than now.
Right. I think that Bianca is such a favorite of Hunters
No, yeah, but
that
she's been overdone. She's at that point where
yes,
if she beats somebody else, who is challenging her?
that is true.
She's already gone through the entire division. The only person that you can have beat her after this, if she wins, is Charlotte. And that would give Charlotte a
Exactly.
15-time champion.
Hmm.
One closer to the record. That's not how they're going with this. Unless
I,
they're debuting some. Unless Mercedes Moné shows up.
right.
But that's not happening because they're not going to give
No.
in to her demands.
Nope. And neither should
But
they. Um,
Shadow, I understand you're saying Rhea hasn't faced her, but that means Rhea's going to lose to Charlotte then. And that the whole plan is for Rhea to beat Charlotte to avenge her loss from WrestleMania 3 years ago.
bingo.
So I see both titles changing. I see Rhea winning pinning Charlotte, and I see Asuka beating Bianca.
That would be the best income. I mean, the best outcome right there.
There's going to be a lot of title changes at this Mania.
There, yes.
Like I see 4 title changes happening.
I think I was talking to I think it was Prince yesterday, and we were talking on TikTok, and shout out Prince, we love you, buddy. But I think
Wrong, Cholo. Wrong. Sorry, but wrong.
wrong. I think what they're doing is going to pretty much just bringing in an absolutely new guard, a new era in within the WWE, and this Mania is the reset on that.
Exactly.
Come on, Bats.
We'll discuss that as we get to it, but we're gonna save that for the end of the show.
Also, my other reminder, along with the supposed Bianca three-peat, which ain't probably gonna happen, at least the Weekend got a three-peat. It's his 3rd year in a row to have a Mania theme song, so there's that.
Yeah, I think they need to move on from that. They need better music.
I agree. The weekend is great, but let's do something different. Seth Rollins backstage promo. He before he even spoke a word, getting interrupted by Ollie there, saying he's got to be positive. He really screwed up the pun there. I thought it was great because Rollins just laughs in his face, then challenges him to a match. Gets back out there after the break. There's Seth Rollins doing his entrance. The crowd was hot, dude. Rollins is over like Rover. And
I don't like the fact that Mustafa Ali did not get an entrance, though.
No, they treated him like a total jobber out there tonight. Even giving him the whole, there's your name. Boom, that's it.
Necro. This is more than one time that you've come in here and tried to talk about non-mainstream wrestling. This week is all about WWE. It's WrestleMania. I know there's a GCW event. I know there's ROH. I know there's other things, but we cover here WWE and AEW. We don't really cover any of the other stuff yet because we don't have ways to watch it. There's no way for me to watch. I'm not paying for something to watch another brand that I'm not really invested in. It doesn't make sense for any of us on our platform to do it. I am looking to expand into people that want to do that, but right now I haven't been able to find anybody. So if you don't like what we're doing here, I mean, there's really other places you probably can find that. Sorry.
No, that's fine. It's absolutely something we'd be loving to explore out there. We just got to find the resources to do so. Thank you, though, for tuning in and enjoying what we do have here for a few seconds, even if you're in here. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Anyways, a short match there, a stomp from the trio Whoa, which I thought was absolutely kick-ass. And then another one for the 1, 2, 3, giving the fans what they wanted there in Arizona.
Mustafa Ali is one of the best sellers in the industry.
Oh, I think him and Ziggler are some of the best in the business.
Mm-hmm. The way that he sold that second stomp made you feel it. I felt that. That's
Those
how
are
good
the
it
type
was.
of people. I'll say this: those are the type of guys that make your stars look like bigger than life. Make them look bigger than anything else. They make them look like $1 million out there. That's why you keep guys like that on your roster. Cheers.
Thanks, Shadow. I was getting a little thirsty.
And then, the promo after, very fiery, doing a great job of selling the match. And then he says this line, says if he loses, Logan ain't the joke, but he is. So there's a few things that, he's playing, he's selling it. He's really selling it. But again, the crowd's with him. He's over. He's hella over. Any other thoughts that you want to share on this? Want to hear
I
your
mean,
opinion on it?
this match is going to be amazing. Um, I really wanted Paul to win up until this promo
Hmm.
because now I know that he's not going to win based off of that,
Yeah.
and that's like that just like it almost took out the. I can't think of the right word right now. Like it almost. I,
It took out the suspense for you, pretty much.
that's
Like
what it
his,
was. Yep, the suspense
yeah.
because now we know who's now we essentially know who's winning.
Mhm. I'm still excited to see it. It's going to be probably the match to follow up. Uh, you know, they're going to bust their ass. They're going to do their thing, and then Seth is going to walk through that current curtain, tap Roman on the shoulders, be like, "Hey, follow that one, buddy." It's going to be
Yeah,
electric.
I don't know. I don't know if anybody's gonna do that to Roman.
No, but that's I think that's the kind of
Well,
professional kind of rivalry, friendly rivalry that they got. It's like,
I
hey,
mean, Roman
follow
already
that one.
knows how it is to wrestle Logan Paul, so he knows what how the match will be.
It's going to be a great match. Logan Paul, say what you want about the guy. Everything he's done in that ring has been close to spotless from a guy who hasn't had really much of proper ring training. You could say, oh, but he was there with Shawn Michaels. He's trained with The Miz and he's trained with Drew Gulak, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, he's only been doing it for what, a year and a half on and off, not
So
really consistently every day.
it doesn't matter who they train with; it matters how much work they're putting in.
Exactly.
So you could train with the best of the best, but if you're not willing to do the work outside of the training sessions or the work inside the training, it's not going to matter. Logan Paul has dedicated his time, and he respects the business, and it shows
Mhm.
on TV.
And it also helps that he is just a gifted natural athlete.
And a natural heel, a great speaker. He has all of the key metrics that you look for.
Exactly. That's going to be a great match. Um, and then you go backstage. You got the excuse me. You got
Adam
Adam Pearce back
Pierce,
there
yeah, with
talking to
Corbin.
Baron Corbin. Joke. Uh, you have Chelsea and Sonya. Setting that up for the match versus
That's
Nia
actually a
and
really good
Bayley.
tag team. I like them together.
I like it
What
too. It
what did
it
he
kind of
what did he say that they could call themselves? Misery loves company.
something like that, yeah. And then or the complaint
Or the
department.
complaint
What?
department. Yeah,
Yeah, I
both
think
were
there's
great choices.
definitely places you could go with that. Thing about Baron Corbin, you know, he's been given repackage after repackage after repackage. I think after Mania or even SummerSlam, he'll probably get another one. Hopefully, he does good with this one, and they'll be able to
He just needs
get
to go
him
back to the
going.
lone wolf.
Yeah, that's the thing. Hopefully, it's what they're building on. And here's one of my highlights of the night: the big weigh-in. Um,
I hope you're
and
joking.
yes, I am, but at the same time, I'm not because I'm like, yes, this is a joke to me, but it has my interest. At first, it didn't because my first note was, I think I'm falling asleep, and then MVP cuts a pretty good promo. And then Cowboy Brock comes out. He looks serious. He's in mania mode. He's probably thinking, "Oh, man, I hate you, Hunter. What are you doing to me?" But at the same time, he's doing his thing. Um, they get in the ring. Lesnar goes ham trying to get on him. Almost isn't moving down. Finally gets him in the corner. Then boom, the kick. Lesnar goes down. It's a little bit of that old school flame, that fire. You got the two big guys going at it. Like, okay, this could be something, just as long as they don't like try to overdo it. I think if they keep this match simple at Mania, there's some sort of tiny recipe that can make it good.
So the only thing I'm going to say about this is Lesnar would not work with Omos if he did not want to,
Exactly.
because that's the type of person Lesnar is. So to me, he wants to help elevate Omos and maybe showcase Omos a little bit with what his strengths are. That being said, this is definitely the bathroom break of night 1 or 2, whatever night it's on.
I would agree.
After
I
that, what
think
do we
it's that
have?
one.
The video package with Rhea Ripley and Charlotte, right?
Yes, and then you got the Rhea promo. Pretty much the only thing really you need to say out of here is the line where she says, "Charlotte's legacy will not define and get in the way of my destiny." Pretty much saying it's legacy versus destiny. She's gonna win it at Mania. That's pretty much what we're saying here.
Mm-hmm. That's what we
And
think
then,
too. So
pretty much all that time, um, what at that point was like an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes, only two matches, and then
yeah, but see the whole thing with the go home show before Mania, it's not about the matches that take place. It's
no,
about the
you're setting
final setup for every match at Mania.
exactly.
That being said, though, the rest of the card that of matches that we saw, straight fire for all of them, especially this 8-man tag match. These 8 guys proved tonight why they deserve to be on the WrestleMania card in this showcase match.
Absolutely.
And now I am invested in this match, and I cannot wait for it because this match is going to be fun to watch, and it's going to be a banger.
It's also going to most likely set up the first opponents for Sammy and KO
Yep.
after Mania. Street Profits, say what you want about them. They're going to maybe break up soon, at least within the later the part of the year, but they're the best, one of the best tag teams in the division, which, and I'm really impressed with the Braun Strowman Ricochet connection and
Yeah,
tag team.
I like them together.
I like them together. I'm a fan of the mismatch. Tag teams that you think would never, be a thing. I'm a big fan of it. My favorite tag team a few years ago was the Bar. I loved the Bar. It was my favorite tag team. But you got the Vikings, you got Alpha Academy. Everything was great. Talk about my man Otis with the ultimate Riz, W Riz. Definite ladies man. And then also, the thing before the match, you had the Finn Balor promo, the pre-tape with him saying he's the cage demon. You don't want to let this cage demon go. They're gonna be one of the matches that also. I'm excited for this Mania. I really am.
Yeah,
A
it's.
few weeks ago I was like,
Hey, Sammy, welcome in.
but these last few shows, everything they've been doing is just getting me hyped, getting me back into the okay.
It's so sad because, like, I've been on Twitter throughout the day and just seeing some of the things that people are posting about WrestleMania, like how the card is, like it's a horrible card. It's one of the worst they've seen in years, and like, it's. I hate to do this because like have been trying not to be this person lately, but it's like the AEW fans are just upset and trying to divide the community again.
Exactly.
And it's annoying. Like, enjoy what you enjoy. Watch what you want to watch. You don't need to downgrade somebody else's enjoyment because it's going to make you feel better. And that's one of the problems with the IWC.
It's bad. It's bad. It's bad.
But it was so good. Like that Finn Balor promo coming off the heels of the Edge one from last week. I am so hyped for this Hell in a Cell match because I'm very curious as to what is going to happen with the Demon and what Edge is going to be, like what Edge's focus is going to be. I know it's going to be the Brood, but I'm curious as to how and what they're going to do because I don't remember Edge really doing the Brood with shorter hair.
Right. He did do the
Was the last one he did
when
with
he
short
came
hair?
back at when he came back at SummerSlam and he in that match he did do the Brood entrance with the short hair. Kind of had a bit of a fire, but
Mm-hmm.
other than that, not really to the full extent of a Brood Edge. So there's definitely levels to it. Shadow had a you know crazy conspiracy
Yep.
on last week's show, so there's
Yeah.
that's the thing with almost. Go ahead.
Shadow just said in the chat, it's not a great card compared to others, but logically, it has better storytelling.
Exactly, and that's something that the IWC just doesn't grasp. It doesn't grasp at all.
Like, it's just, there's so many good things that are happening with this. Like, I'm excited for so many of the matches. The stories coming out of them, the stories going into it. I just, like, I can't wait for this week. Like, every show is going to be great.
Mm-hmm. It's just it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. So got that tag match, and then the Cody promo. I'm still saying that Solo ain't ready. And then he's got the finish the story. The Cody thing, and then the announcement that we saw on Twitter earlier. Miss Stacy Keibler, Hall of Fame, 2023. Question I still got in my head is, got legs? How do you feel about that, Scales?
I called this a couple weeks ago. So, I figured she was going to be one of the announcements. So we have, what, 3 people right now?
Yes.
Well,
Well,
4
4.
wasn't there a celebrity, right?
Yep. You got Kaufman. You have Ray.
Right, Andy
You
Kaufman is the other
have
one. So you have
Muda
4. I think we get one more.
and Keibler. Yeah.
I think we get one more, though.
Do you get a tag team?
It all depends.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? What? What's up, Fat? How are we doing tonight? You talk about you waiting for me to take tarps off. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with her going in, but I said it a couple weeks ago because that was one of the rumors that they were saying.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, who else were they going to put in this year?
You know, that's a good question.
Victoria,
Yeah.
she needs to go in. There's a couple other ones that probably could.
I was actually trying to come up with a quick list in my head, and I just blanked on it for women that are worthy of the Hall of Fame, at least at this point. It's not a bad choice.
Michelle McCool's already in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
I don't even know who else could think of. Victoria would be one. Melina?
Mickey James, Melina.
Well, yeah, we know China, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen with
At least a solo.
with Vince still involved in any fashion. If it was just Triple H, she'd be in a heartbeat.
Exactly.
She is inducted with DX,
Yeah.
but she's not inducted as solo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I said Melina
Yep.
Shadow.
So Melina. Mickey James.
Mickey James
would be one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of if there's anybody else, but that's really all that comes to mind right now.
Then you got the Sonya and Chelsea Green match versus Candice and Mia Yim.
Oh, you skipped right over the Austin Theory promo.
Yes. Why don't you take the keys on that one, brother?
So everybody that I've been reading and seeing all their comments on this is like, oh, it reminded me too much of the um, pandemic and the empty crowd era and the empty arena. No, this was perfect. It was powerful, it was impactful, and it made it look like Theory is ready for that next step. And now I'm a believer of him beating Cena. Whereas before this, I really thought they were going to have Cena go over and then do an open challenge the next night.
Ron Breaker. That's
No.
the Phil and Matt
And
conspiracy. I do think
Jay
the
White.
or that, yeah. But no, I definitely think Theory is going to be victorious in this one.
Yeah,
I
I
think,
know, but if you bring Jay White in, it's more impactful to have him beat Cena at his first match.
yeah. But then at that point, then what do you do to Theory?
He goes for a main title. But it's hard to do without having a title on Raw.
Yeah.
So, lots of things that can happen.
Since we're talking about the main event here, so what are you thinking? Mania, are you thinking Cody? You thinking
No,
Roman?
I'm thinking Roman.
Yeah.
And I
At
think
least
so. My reasoning for that is the whole thing with his story that he keeps going back on is for the WWE Championship. It's not for both.
Mhm.
If the belts were separated and they said this was just for the WWE Championship, he would be winning 100%.
that's been thoughts I've been having.
They don't want Roman to lose the 1,000-day streak. And it's coming up pretty quickly.
I think he's losing it at SummerSlam. That's when I think
I think he'll lose it at Backlash, actually.
In Puerto Rico.
Backlash is in the later in the month, right? Is May 27th?
Yes, it's the I think that's the one. Yeah,
No,
in
that's
Puerto
May
Rico.
6th. That's not late enough. So he might not have it then. When is King of the Ring? But that's in Saudi, so I don't know.
Maybe Money in the Bank.
See, King of the Ring is the 27th. So that would be after 1,000 days. Money in the Bank would be July 2nd. I don't think there's any in between those two. And Roman's supposedly taking off most of the summer.
See, that's the report. Yeah.
But he's not going to take off if he's still the title holder. That's why I think he's going to lose it before then.
Right.
Or he's
I
going to
don't
lose
think
at least
he's
one. Or he's going to lose at least one before then. So,
Say, definitely don't think he's gonna pull a Moxley and work on his vacation.
oh no.
This is the tribal chief you're talking about.
They needed to announce that this match was just for the WWE Championship months ago, and then Cody would win. And then Roman could still go defend his Universal title, get his 1,000-day streak, and then do what he wants with it. And then Monday Night Raw has a belt.
Could have had Roman work both nights.
See, I don't like that, because if he loses night one, it takes away the stigma from night two.
But what if he won night one and then lost on night two?
You'd have to have the Universal go for night one. And you're going to put the weaker belt he's win on the first night? You're going to put the stronger belt, I'm saying? I mean?
And that's the crazy part about it, is because they put it in this weird position where your flagship title isn't even your strongest title. The
But
WWE Championship is not the strongest title. It's the Universal. If you're
what are
going
you
with
gonna have?
that
Well,
logic,
it's based off of the timing. But when are you gonna have a
Yes.
match? Because you're not gonna have a main event both nights. You can't have a main event both nights with the tag match. And if that's not the main event of night one, WWE fucked up.
Yeah.
If they put stupid one of the women's title matches as the main event, they fucked up.
I still think putting both of the titles on him in the first place wasn't the
Well,
right move.
I agree with that. And they're in that
So it
situation that, and it seemed like for a while they were working on giving Pierce a reason to strip him of one of them, and then that just went away.
yeah.
So now what they need to do is he needs to defend one on its own, or have the person who wins the Money in the Bank say, "I'm cashing it in for this title."
And that's the thing. When Austin Theory won it, I was like, okay, this is the perfect opportunity to get one of the titles off of Roman. That's the thing. You have the contract clausing be for one of the titles.
Mm-hmm.
That was my theory on it. Theory. But but you can't really change the fact about it. It's gonna whatever they're gonna do, it's gonna end up being good. We could speculate all day about it, but we don't get paid the big bucks to do so.
Let's see. Shadow pointed out that the Battle Royal only contains 28 names and it normally has 30. I'm just curious, was there always 30 participants in it?
Maybe Bray and a celebrity.
Bray's not showing up on Friday night. Bray's going to show up at Mania. I think he'll show up at Mania. Unless he wasn't cleared.
Maybe a return.
But I think on SmackDown we'll see this setup between Lashley and LA Knight for their match to take place at Mania.
So with LA Knight and Bobby Lashley, so is that where you have Wyatt show up after whatever they do on Mania?
Or
Say
do
Bobby
we
goes
or
over.
do we have Wyatt show up with Alexa Bliss and she reintroduces the Fiend? There's lots of different ways they can go.
I would love to see the Fiend character come back.
I don't think they need to keep Bray Wyatt involved in Lashley or LA Knight. But then again, we didn't get any finish to the stories that were being built. So it's I don't know.
But the thing is, with that, you can still say, if you're introducing the Fiend, it's a totally different entity
Mm-hmm.
that you don't really have to pick up where you left off.
And if they do introduce the Fiend, they need to not overuse him.
Mm-hmm.
They still have the Bray character, but Alexa can bring out the Fiend. She was the one that got rid of him. So does she have the power to bring him back? That's part of the question.
Mm.
After the women's tag match, where we had Chelsea Green and DeVille win to set up the showcase match there with those 4 contenders, we had Damon Priest versus Rey Mysterio. But before that, we had Dominic probably cut his best promo in the WWE.
It was a dang good promo. Every week he gets better and better on the mic. I don't know if you guys noticed. Teardrop, he done hard time. While in prison Dom has learned how to speak like Sub Thug.
Ex-con Don.
So he's using that verbal skill to use. He is getting better at it. Um, I think him being in Judgment Day has been very beneficial to him,
Mm-hmm.
and he's able to pretty much not necessarily say hide behind those guys, but pretty much use them as an outlet to project himself and be something other than just white meat baby face, plain as day, Dominic Mysterio. So I'm really enjoying it, and I'm really curious to see after Mania where they go with Dominic and Judgment Day as a whole.
Yeah, I don't know. The only one that doesn't have a match at Mania is Demon Priest.
That's also part of why I would think that he would have a pretty big role in the match between him and between Dom and Ray, is to give him some sort of spot at Mania.
Yeah, but who's going to help Ray? We can have Escobar come out?
Maybe Escobar, maybe Bad Bunny.
No, but Bad Bunny was good with Priest.
Yes, yes, but that was when Damian Priest was a babyface.
It does.
So if you're kind of trying to set up some sort of,
see, Bad
Bunny,
Bunny.
they're both Puerto Rican. Yes,
right.
I
so
get
why?
that.
So you couldn't have him go against them. Like that just doesn't make sense logically.
Maybe you get some sort of turn then at Mania with Damian. If you're really wanting to set up Damian to be a babyface in Puerto Rico by the time that happens.
Maybe. It was a really good match. Ray goes for the win. Dom interferes, costing the match. Ray wins by DQ. And then you had Legado del Fantasma come out. It was a melee and chased off Dom and Damien.
It was a good afterbirth. And then you have the Apolli promo. Went a little biblical there, good storytelling. Then that's what was after that. I think just the match was after that. It was a good match. Any thoughts on it, Scouts?
Which match?
The main event.
Oh, we also had Gunther versus Ziggler.
Yes.
I mean, it was pretty quick. Gunther pretty much dominated. You had Ziggler try and get some moves in the beginning, but Gunther ended up chopping him, and once he did that, it was pretty much over from there on out. Mm-hmm. Nice little short, nice little sweet.
Gunther general.
Gunther stands tall. He got on the mic, says that the match is a disgrace, that it shouldn't be forced to defend against both of them. Same thing he's been saying for a couple weeks, which really means that he's losing. I hate it. I don't think he should lose yet. I would only be okay with him losing if Sheamus is the one that wins, because then it would give Sheamus his Grand Slam.
Yep. And then, but the thing I would think with that is that you have a feud there with Sheamus and Drew for that IC title, and then eventually you're probably moving Gunter up into a main event role.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. But at that point, if he's heel, it's timing is one of I think it's just the confusing factor here. After if you're having Roman keep the title, or if you're beating Roman, that's why I love WrestleMania, because there's so many questions that are going to get answered.
It's very hard to figure out what's going to happen after until we see what happens here. So it's hard to speculate on what can happen.
Mm-hmm. Because we could all sit here and play Booker, but at the end of the day, we have no clue what's going on. So, I'm really excited for Mania.
Before that, we had the Sammy and KO promo from backstage, which was really well done.
Mm-hmm.
Hyped up their match again. I mean, we're all invested in that match. We all want Sammy and KO to win. Well, most of us do. But I've, I just, I really hope that's the main event, and I hope they end off night one with them raising the crowd will go home happy. It'll be great.
Be the best ending to the best storyline within the past year.
And then we go on to the main event, like you were saying before. Cody versus Solo.
Mm-hmm.
Match was really good. Solo is
Short and
still
sweet.
Solo is still not ready. Cody gave Solo his first loss on the main roster.
Had some good outside interference.
Shadow messaged me right after it happened, says he did not agree with it. I said the only reason that it works is because that means that Roman is winning at Mania. You don't have Cody beat Solo if he's beating Roman. I mean, they could.
Uh-huh.
I just don't. I don't see it.
Right. So, if if you put, see, that's the thing. If you're putting Cody through the ringer, you're having him come back. You're making him win the Royal Rumble. You're pretty much setting him up for all the success, and then you have everybody pretty much expecting this to happen, expecting him to win. At what point, and you're shoving it down their throats to the point where, okay, Roman goes over. You're pretty much undoing everything you worked for. Where do you put Cody at then? After you pretty much, I hate using the word burial because it's not a burial, but after you pretty much rise Cody all the way up just to bring him down. After that, where does Cody go from there? After Mania, you beat Cody. Where does he go from there? Because I don't. That's the thing with Cody is that I don't think he's really wanting to do 5, 6, 7, 10 more years of this. So
no, I get it.
The clock's running with Cody too. So
I just think that if they put themselves into a weird spot with this, like Roman is so close to that 1,000 days, and I know they've wanted that for so long. Everything has said that WWE is undecided on who's winning this match, that they still have not made a choice. Now, like Shadow pointed out, they had Cody beat Solo so they could show he's a legit contender, which is what I thought of it too. If he would have lost to Solo, it makes him look weak. Then you don't believe he could beat Roman, and you do it that way if he's winning, to make it look like it's gonna be a cakewalk for Roman on Sunday. He's not ready to challenge him. He couldn't even get past his enforcer. Why is he challenging him? What makes him think he's gonna beat him? Whereas now he goes in confident. He's going in, I took out the only person that was standing in my way of beating him. To lose. To feel he's not ready. And then it sets up a rematch just for one belt. And that's when he beats him. Divide and Conquer. Roman defends both titles the same night at Backlash.
Yes, but I mean, I
And then
just that's the
Cody
thing, you know.
Cody beats him after he lost during the second match. He defends the first match, wins, and then he loses in his second match of the night.
I mean, I get what you're trying to say because playing devil's advocate, you know, you're probably thinking, okay, it's the same thing they done to his daddy in the garden. They took the title from him in the garden. But at the same point, if you're, you know, I'm thinking I'm playing devil's advocate in the way the IWC would probably think of it. You know, if you're thinking you're gonna beat Cody, pretty much beat him in the powder, and then you're going to try to build him back up from there. You know,
It's not
if you're
necessarily
thinking,
building him back up. It depends on how he loses. Was it clean? Was there interference that cost him to lose?
I think if you're playing too much with Cody's character, you got to be really careful with it because there's a chance you're turning the fans off of him.
You're not. Did you hear that crowd tonight? There's no
That's
way. There is no way you're turning the crowd off of him in 6 days. Based off of the crowd reactions tonight. Based off of the crowd reaction he's going to have when he walks out on Sunday.
I mean, what if they do just one title?
Shadow.
You know, Cody wins and they just
It's
combine
not
the
pipe. It's not piped in. Like
uh,
he hasn't been long enough for them to pipe in and get his noise on recorded.
I think we need to get Shadow in here. Oh Lord. I just, man, it's a tough
No,
spot.
they
to really
need
be in.
two belts, Shadow. Each show needs its own belt. It's not one brand. You don't have people going back and forth. If you do that, you can get rid of half of the people. Because you don't need a roster this bloated.
I agree because you know you're also answering to two networks, and I know with the reports, you know, multiple things saying each network wants their own champion.
Correct.
So, especially with rights deals and all that coming up.
Yep. At the end of this year. In September. The new rights still start in October.
I hate agreeing with you so much on this. Shadow's losing it over there. In the
I know he is.
Well, you know that's the thing. If
It's
you have
easier to
Cody with
build.
one of
It's
the
easier to
belts,
build it for two than it is for one, to be honest. Because right now you've already eliminated so many people going for the title with Roman. Because of who he's beaten along the way, he's held the belt for it'll be almost 3 years. If he holds it all the way until August, it's 3 years. Once you split that belt, you're opening up so many more people to contend to go for that one belt.
and Gunther would be the first person to go for it.
Gunther, you have Sheamus, you have Drew,
Yeah, Drew.
you have Lashley, you have
Tyrion.
you have Karrion Kross, you have LA Knight that'll eventually win the Money in the Bank this year. Like there's lots of contenders that they can have, but they're so restricted right now by having both belts on Roman.
And heck, when Roman takes a break, you know, you'll have Solo. You'll have, you know,
Jey Uso. You could have Jey beat Roman for the other belt. Comes full circle. You want to fall down to the bloodline? You have the Usos lose the title. They get frustrated. Boom. At King of the Ring, you have Jey Uso beat Roman for the belt. End of the bloodline. Main event, Jey Uso is back. Lots of things to happen.
right.
None of it will probably come true, but no, Shadow. I'm not the soundboard of the IWC. The IWC wants Cody Rhodes to win, and they want him to take both belts. I don't want that to happen. I want him to only get one. I want Roman to get the 1,000 days. He deserves that. with what he's done for the company for WWE over the last 3 years. Without him, they wouldn't be where they're at. Fuck the IWC. They don't know what the hell they want most of the time.
I don't know. And after this conversation, I don't think I know what I want.
Okay, relax.
Scal's coming in hot. This is why we need him more on shows.
Oh, I agree. I agree. Seth could have done this. There could have been there could have been people that have done this. Cody's story. Cody's story doesn't involve the Universal Championship. It only involves the WWE Championship. And that's the whole problem with this thing, is that if they would have made this about the WWE Championship the entire time, then he would be winning on Sunday.
But they didn't.
I know, and that's why he's not winning. Stop it, Shadow.
I think if Cody's not winning,
stop
like,
it.
Where do you go from there?
That's what I'm saying. It just has to. It needs to depend on how he loses. Solo will probably cost him the match after this, after tonight, as payback. Saying I'm not ready. You beat me. Here, you're not winning this belt. And that's why on Saturday night, they need to end the show with KO and Sammy winning, because Sunday night's not going to be happy for the crowd. Yes, I know he lost. I know he lost. He should have lost the belt, but the stupid ref didn't know how to work a damn key on a handcuff. We were all screaming when that happened. We were all. I remember we were in a chat on the Discord server. We were watching it together. We all started screaming that it should be over.
So, where's this Scals on Friday nights, guys? Oh. And speaking of Friday nights, career, you got the SmackDown review. You have Scals, Phil, sometimes, and Cam. Here on Off the Top. Wednesday, you have Scarlet Slayer. And then this week, we are doing tomorrow the NXT Stand and Deliver review, or the prediction show.
Will be at 9 p.m.
9 p.m. And then you have the Mania prediction shows Thursday and Friday. Which Fridays during the Hall of Fame induction.
So Thursday night, 9 p.m., right here on Off the Top Media, we're going to have our WrestleMania Night 1 predictions. Friday night, right after SmackDown, we are going to do our Night 2 predictions while the Hall of Fame is going on. Then, directly after Night 1, we'll be doing a review. Directly after Night 2, we'll be doing a review. And then we'll be back here next Monday night at 11 o'clock doing a Monday Night Raw review for the Raw After Mania. So it's a jam-packed week for Off the Top. Shadow keeps saying that there's supposed to be a hot seat session where you question me.
I am not Barbara Walters. I don't have all the questions either or answers. Does Shadow have any hot?
Oh, questions? I'm sure Shadow does. He always has questions to get me riled up.
Send them to me. Feed them to me. Feed them. Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah, I mean, this was not your regular Monday Night Raw.
No.
But it was good in the aspect of how it was set up. You saw a lot of development in storylines. You saw some good character development on some of the wrestlers. And then it just built up to what we're going to see this weekend, plus what we'll see on Monday night after. Mm-hmm. He said, just do what you did with him last week.
I thought he was the one asking me all the hard questions. But man, I'm
You got nothing to say?
no, I got nothing. I got nothing. I think we've covered everything from Raw. Um, had a crazy conversation about whether or not one or two titles is necessary. Um, wow. So apparently I'm a fucking mark.
Yeah, I could see that. Don't worry, I'm right there with you.
Hey, Mark's my middle name, you know. It's all right.
Did you see the news today that there's a new championship design that's been approved by Triple H?
I saw that. I saw that. It's not the one that everybody
No,
thinks
it's
it
not.
is.
It's not the Cody Rhodes Winged Eagle Championship that's going around.
Just as long as it doesn't look the same as the other ones, I don't care.
No, apparently they want to have two different distinguished titles now going forward.
I do hope it has, you know, it can be modern, but if it has a classic look, then I'm all for it.
I
I
hope
will
it looks like the
buy it.
one that's right behind you.
Hey, I'll be all for it.
Still my favorite belt of all time.
It's mine too, and I know Hunter has a soft spot for it. Say we're about an hour in. Want to get down to some other questions here, non tonight, non WrestleMania stuff. So Scowls, you know, a little bit more about yourself. So upbringing or whatever, you know, what got you into wrestling? What made you this passionate about it, and you know, to the point where you wanted to go off and start off the top and
So I've been
really,
following wrestling for now 30 years. Um, when I was younger, my brothers were into wrestling. My brother worked at a card store in a flea market, and they would get wrestlers to come there and do the autograph signings. So I got to meet wrestlers when I was young, such as Demolition, Barbara the Brutus Beefcake. Um, so it's like they really got me into wrestling, and my brother knew a wrestler, so I used to be able to go backstage and see all the behind the scenes stuff, and that really got me into it. Shadow, shut up with your graying hair over there, okay? Ask me what happened to my hair. I lost it from dealing with you.
hey, I'm getting there too.
So yeah, I mean, I really dealt with wrestling, and people that I worked with, we got into it, and we started going to shows at for WCW in Long Island when they had them at the Nassau Coliseum, going to WWE events at the Garden,
Mhm.
and it just was so enjoyable, and I just stuck with it. Like I've been at some pretty memorable shows. I was at the Monday Night Raw when Triple H returned from his quad injury.
Ooh,
I was at the Royal Rumble when John Cena returned at number 30.
oh 08.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen some pretty interesting shows and been at some memorable ones.
Saying you were also at the last MSG show, so
Yeah, I was at the most recent one that just happened. It was a really good show. I enjoy going to the Garden because you never know what's going to happen there,
so
especially for house shows. Because the last
mhm.
three non-televised title changes all happened at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, it wasn't the last one the AJ Styles United States switch,
No, I think there was one after that actually.
or was it the
It was
Jeff Hardy Jinder Mahal?
no, let me see. I looked this up the other day. Uh, It's only happened 16 times in the last. Only 10 times in the last 16 years. Oh, this is televised. Why is this not? Oh, on free TV. That's not what I wanted. Maybe that was the last one. But there was a bunch of them that I looked up recently. Because you don't count the 24/7 or things like that.
No. You don't count the
See,
the
AJ
job.
Styles won in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
I know there was one after that in 2019. I just can't remember who that was.
I think it was Hardy and Mahal.
No, that was Diesel, 94. Bret Hart won it once. Why are they so old? I can't seem to find it now.
Well, we'll figure it out and probably post it in Discord or whatever. You know, we've chatted a few times, and I've happened but noticed in your background there, a huge collection of Funko Pops. So, when did you start collecting those, brother? I know I sent one to
I
our
blame
boy
Shadow.
Shadow.
I blame him.
Hey, yeah,
I blame him.
yeah, yeah.
I bought one, and he goes, "You won't be able to stop at just one." Look what happened.
That's the most Shadow thing I've heard all day.
Let me actually change the light color so you can see him better. He did warn me. And that's not counting the ones that are up there, too. All the way over there. Keeps going up. Look at all those, Jamie.
Jeez.
So, yeah.
I think those are some that I haven't seen.
Shadow warned me.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. Yeah,
you
you haven't seen those ones up there because those aren't the wrestling ones.
No.
So I put those to the side. I keep those out of view.
Say after I shipped Marty McFly off to Shadow, I think I only have one now. It's
That's it.
over there. Let me
You
go
have
grab
one?
him. Yeah, I only have one. Um, have you know, the gladiator here. So
Yeah, I forget which one I started with, but yeah, that's now my
and,
collection.
if you're watching this, are you not entertained? You know,
I
I
have
guess Shadow isn't.
25. Yeah, I probably have about 70 now.
Say next time I ship stuff off, I'll probably
And then down
throw this
there,
little
down on the
little
bottom
guy
over
in there.
the ones down over here are my Harry Potter ones that I have.
So you're a Harry Potter fan? Which house?
I am Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff, yes sir, yes sir. Hufflepuff's in the house.
Oh, that's right. I ordered one off of Amazon, and the first time I ordered one, I got a chase. So
Ooh,
yeah, Hufflepuff all the way over here.
yeah.
In Shadow. If you want to talk about looking like a Hufflepuff, I mean. But you also have my championship belt back there. The off the top one.
Yeah. For the people who haven't seen it, show everybody. you guys. I'm going home. Can't do a department voice to save all right. Man, I don't know why, but I definitely love the white strap on that one.
Then we have our new logo put on the side here, and then we got the Bray Wyatt logo on the other side.
Mm.
Custom made just for us. Yeah, the white pops though. I love the white on it.
Ooh, looks so good.
But
Man, so is that the only belt you got? I know you have a big collection of minis. We're just trying,
I
trying
have
to get
I
deep
have the
into
minis
the.
one, all the mini ones up top. I have the Big Gold. I have the Stone Cold Steve Austin Smoking Skull one. I have the Undertaker belt. I have the Fiend belt. I have the Spinner belt. And then if you look here, that is the Up Up Down Down belt. So those are the 6 of the mini belts that I own, but I do have one more regular belt. The Winged Eagle white one.
Ooh, yes, sir.
I didn't even know they made it in white until I got it. So.
Say, I think because me and my wife, our thing is we go to concerts a lot together. So I like collecting posters and stuff. So I got, of course, my faves. Got my
Mm-hmm.
Pearl Jam one right here. And then if I can move over here, got Dave Matthews Band, Chris Stapleton. Got a
Nice.
few others that aren't hung up yet, but yeah, I'm just trying to build some sort of collection.
Yeah, that's what I started to do with the mini belts. And then I was like, I have to get one belt, and I figured the first belt I'm gonna get is gonna be the one made for us.
Mm-hmm. Say I'm
But
I'm about to start on a extensive 8x10 collection. Um, Already ordered a few things. I think I also got a few more things heading my way, and I have some from at least my two here. Met Bradshaw and met Booker T. Booker T. Probably one of the nicest guys in wrestling I've met. Bradshaw, surprisingly, is a really nice guy in person.
yeah,
Maybe
I
that just comes with the age.
when I was younger, I met at a WCW event when Booker T was there. I sat down with him in the lobby of the hotel and talked to him for a few hours. Real chill
Mhm.
dude. Rode the elevator up with Mr. Perfect. So it's like I said, I've been fortunate with wrestling events, seeing things.
Yeah. That's the thing. The Northeast, like New York fan, have probably have like the craziest experiences when it comes to wrestling and just
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that.
I mean, I'm sure I've seen some good things for wrestling for WCW. I just can't
Hmm.
remember
Yeah.
because I was so young at the time.
Well, getting that time. So, Scows, where can we find you, man?
So you can find me here on Off the Top, both on Twitch and YouTube. Then we have my personal Twitter and TikTok, Scouts24, and Off the Top Media underscore Twitter and TikTok.
Alrighty. For me, I'm Jamie Rose X everywhere. You got the TikTok, the Twitter, which I'm trying to get more involved on there. Got Instagram, and Clapper now, especially. I guess that's the big move everyone's going to.
Well, people are
Um,
afraid of TikTok being shut down, so they're going to Clapper.
the government doesn't do anything anyways, so here we go. Anyways, for Scowls, I am Jamie Rose X. Tomorrow night we have the Stand and Deliver prediction shows. Wednesday night we have Scarlex's Lair, and then the schedule forward onto there. Um, Thank you. Fuck you. Goodbye. Peace.
Have a great evening, guys.